Hi everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro. I have a flip through for you of an Alice in Wonderland Little Golden Book junk journal. This is a gift for someone, and so the person who is receiving it loves Alice in Wonderland, obviously, but most specifically loves the Disney version. So most of the items in here are from the Disney movie. And the books that sort of correspond with the movie, but there are a few illustrations from the original book as well. Let me measure it first. It is 7 7/8 by 6 almost 1/4. It has a 1.5 inch spine with this beautiful retro looking floral purple rose print. 2 signatures, and this is a tassel made with a variety of lace and ribbon and a few little items that I had that correspond with the story. So I have a little stopwatch, or a pocket watch rather, and a little bottle, and for the drink me or bottle of tears, I guess it could be, and this beautiful little watercolor looking bead and a little cake to represent the tea party. Here's a red rose, a pink bead. Yeah, so lots of pretty colors in here, lots of blues, greens, purples, and a little bit of pink. It's just tied with a polka dot blue satin ribbon. This book is, I want to say, one of the reprints from the 80s of this story, and I decided just to leave it as it was. I love how it's distressed and much loved by a previous owner, so I wanted to keep it that way. Okay, inside, I decided not to put a pocket here because this was blank. It does have a little stamp that some child put on there, but I think that's kind of cute. But it's still empty enough that the new recipient can put their name. And so I just decorated it with a little cutout of Alice from a book. Oh, let me show you the books that I used first of all. I took some of the images and some of the text from this book, which is a Whitman's Classics. I will be making a junk journal out of this cover at some point, now that I have an ephemera folder with leftovers from this plus more stuff. I received this in Happy Mail just recently from Maureen, so thank you, Maureen, for this, because it allowed me so many really fun cutouts and images that I was not able to use otherwise. And last but not least, this little paperback from Chronicle Books of the story with a lot of different illustrations from different artists. I used a couple of things out of here. So those are the 3 sources that I had. Of course, I had the original book pages, the storybook pages. I did not put the complete story in here. I kept some of the pages out so I could use them as cutouts or making cards and tags, but I did put a few of the story pages in here, and I ended up cutting them apart and using hinges to connect them to other pages. So, all right, we have a double pocket here, and we have some purple glitter and a little fabric cluster with a teacup. And then in this pocket, we have a Queen of Hearts journaling card and this little mushroom card. It's kind of embossed. And this is one of my Franken cards, Franken paper cards with the colors that are in the journal. And then here we have a fabric tag with some very, 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 very old Swiss dot fabric that I sewed on the top. This is from a math book. I was looking through an arithmetic workbook for other images for future journals and just happened to see this. It was a whole page of problems revolving around Alice in Wonderland, and she was at the top, so I ended up cutting her out and just gluing her on top of these math questions. Here we have a belly band with, I love this punch. I think it's a Martha Stewart punch. It's like a eyelet. And then tucked in here we have sort of a naturalist book cover from London, and then an envelope that I decorated with a pocket watch and some hearts And inside here, we have some stationery with tea party and roses. Tea party details. This stationery I found at a yard sale a couple years ago. Here is one of the story pages from, I didn't show you another book that I used. I did use the Disney Storyland Stories from Other Lands book. It's like a set of 3. I used that in here as well. So this is a page from that. Here's just a little fabric cluster with a butterfly. This is a printable on the back of this. It is like a English tea garden, like the schematics of an English tea garden. Here's one of the story pages with the hinge. This is just a cutout of Alice. I put on some pink lined paper. This is a shaker page, which I have never made before, but I saw someone recently do this and I loved the idea. It has seed beads and sequins, butterfly glitter, and regular glitter as well. Really fun. Here's a teacup pocket, and I just tucked a little spoon so the recipient can turn it over and journal on the back of the spoon. This is some paper I received in Happy Meal a long time ago. It's like a beautiful holographic type print. It's not shiny, but it is made to look like a holographic paper. And I punched the edge. This is an image from the Whitman's version of the book. And this is a poem from a children's poetry book. This is the poem that the little dormouse said in the movie. And this is on a file folder. That's why it has that tab. This is a beautiful digital of some of the original illustrations overlaid onto the text of the book. This is Erin Condren stationery here. This is just a little laser die cut border that I laid on top of white blue. This is some scrapbook cardstock that it looks like a table setting, and it looked like the tea party to me. And here we have a journaling card with beautiful roses. It's a reproduction of an antique card. And then here is a faux postcard. I put a British stamp up here, and the back of it already had the little rulers, the measurements. So I put Alice looking into the box of cakes or cookies that help her become, I think she became larger when she ate the cake. And here is a very large, you can see by my hand, very large Queen of Hearts playing card. This is deli paper with rose printed on it. This is a little cookie digital that I found, a sprinkle cookie, and I just used in Photoshop, I added the words "Eat Me" on the top of it to go with the theme of the story. And this is Kool-Aid dyed paper. Here is some beautiful periwinkle blue trim. I found this at an antique store a while back. And then here is just a little digital of a antique flamingo. Already bent into a croquet shape, really. This is a really cool invitation, like a party invitation, but though it's not vintage, the colors were so bright and went with the book, and it just reminded me of like the whimsical world of Wonderland. And on the back we have, this is a little tuck spot made with wallpaper, and then I could not find many images of the caterpillar in my books, which is a shame because he's my favorite character. But I did find this one, and I put him on this little tiny tag. This is a printable from KB and Friends. It's a little seed packet. And this is vintage wrapping paper that has been turned into a tag. This is art tissue dyed paper. You guys might have seen me use this in other journals. I love making this. I haven't made it in a while, but I'm using some of the stash that I had saved up. In the center of the signature, we have a beautiful cardstock butterfly with gold accent. And the center of both signatures have very dainty seed beads in the colors of the journal. On the back of the invitation, I put a little pocket that says Curiouser and Curiouser, and then I put a little mirror with some silver, or I guess it would be called silver vinyl, and a little frame that I had. And then this is a stamped tag that someone sent me in Happy Mail, and it was perfect for this journal. So this image is torn out of a children's poetry book. It's The White Rabbit. Paper clipped here, we have a little blue ticket, we have a little blue note sheet, and then we have this adorable Queen of Hearts playing card that was sent to me in Happy Mail as well. So many things I've received in Happy Mail that I found to be just perfect for this book. Some more Kool-Aid dyed paper, and then here's a bead dangle of a little ladybug on the eyelet. Tucked in here, this unties. I won't do it for the video's sake, but I put a little pocket watch in it. This flips up, and then this one flips down, so it's like a little folio. And then this is a little reprint of one of the original book illustrations. And this is from a greeting card that I think my aunt sent me, and it had glittery butterflies, and then the back was beautiful too. So I just put it in here as it is. Here's Alice on the, I love the way she's turned and running. And this is a piece of beautiful scalloped vintage trim. Here's some vintage calico that I sewed into a ruffle. On the back, we have a seed packet pocket. And then in here we have Alice running after the White Rabbit. And then we have a little fiber and paper cluster with a pink flower. And tucked behind here, we have some Marjolaine Bastion note sheet, and with a little squirrel topiary, which went perfectly with this theme as well. This is an image from, let's see, oh yes, an Australian gardening book, and the colors went with it, of course, and the flowers that she encounters in the garden that talk. And then on the back, I've used photo corners to put this little card with Alice talking to the flowers. And it just goes right back in here. This is a little punched heart on this sheet. This is an image from a book about England, and this is one of the manor gardens in the countryside of England. And then on the back are more pictures from England. And then we have a little butterfly specimen card and a note sheet with a vellum sticker. Here's just a little punch of a butterfly on a little circle. Some fabric on the edge of this story page. A side pocket with the glitter, and then I found the White Rabbit and put him on some backdrop, and then the words, "He was always late." This is a little calling card, and then this is Alice with the caterpillar. And this is a vintage handwritten recipe for pecan tarts. I could not find any recipes for, you know, red tarts, the jam tarts that I think the Queen liked, but they are still tarts. Maybe the dough base was pecan based, and then she put jam on top. We can imagine. Here is this is the center of the signatures. This is a little corner tuck with, this is a piece of a sentence strip, and I put an Alice quote. Here is a digital of the Cheshire Cat, sort of hiding in the tree. I don't remember the name of this. Carol's something, the embossed stationery. I think every time I show this, I forget the name of it, and you guys always remind me, but I love this. And then a guest check, and I put the Mad Hatter and the Dormouse on here. Here's a little envelope that I've turned into a pocket. And in here, I put a little bag of glitter that the recipient can use as she would like to decorate or put inside of a, you know, a shaker something if she would like to create one. Monopoly money and a little punched card. And then right here is just a little this is just a little note sheet with irises. And this is from a book called The Curious Book of List, and I thought it was interesting because it's called The Curious Book of List. But it's just some fun, like if you like to make lists, this is a really fun activity to do. And I found ones that sounded like something that Alice would have liked to make a list about. Here is a pocket with a cutout when she goes after the White Rabbit and into the little hole. Of course, this is not where he goes, but I found this wonderful image of him coming out of a maze. This is not in the movie, it's sort of an extra story, but I thought it was really fun. So when you put him into the pocket, he kind of peeks out right there. This is vintage wallpaper. I put a quote from the book when she's talking to the flowers, and a little sticker and some lace. And then this is a card that I received in Happy Mail of famous authors. And this is Thackeray. I guess that's how you say it, but he talked about the history of England, which is kind of what Alice was learning in the beginning when her older sister was reading. And here's an A for Alice. This is a bulletin board letter. The Unbirthday Song. And I put a little paper cluster on this page. There's the Cheshire Cat. That's a good image of him, or what's left of him. Black and white stripes. I did put a little bit of red, black, and white to represent the Queen and the playing cards and all that. I know a lot of people who make these journals, that is their color theme, and those are really cool. But because of the fact that I use this cover, it's more of a pink, blue, and purple theme. Here's some teacup digital paper, some more dyed paper, and then I punched two little butterflies in the corner. Graph paper, and I sewed some lace on the edge. Here's Alice wondering what to do next. Here is a little ribbon tab, and then I put a little bronze pocket watch on a bowl pin. This is a tea dyed envelope. I had to have tea dyed something in here, and so I turned it into a double pocket. I put a sticker of mushrooms, and this says keep your temper, said the caterpillar. And in here is a Project Life card. I guess that's the front, which I thought looked a little bit like these flowers next to this. This is a paper pad that I just bought recently from Walmart. It's called the Conservatory, and so I think these are poppies, maybe. I love it. And then the back has black and white, which was perfect. And then we have a little, I glued this down, little painted red roses. And then here we have, this is from the 80s. It's a little pack of heart-shaped tags that I had, and I grabbed one in red. And this is a round playing card, and this is a bridge tally. Dyed paper, and then I wove some moss-looking fiber through that. A paper cluster strip. I don't really know what that's called, but just a little embellishment. And then this paper is punched with little flower petals on the edge. A little fabric tab. Handwriting paper. I did another pocket watch and then did a torn edge frame. And then here we have a little note sheet with irises. And this little journaling page says, what a beautiful day. And, oops, my sleeve is getting caught on the fabric. This is an image from the original book, and I love the way it had this little cutout section, so I just found a quote from the cat and put it here. A butterfly tag and a mushroom note sheet. On this side, we have a shaker card with flowers and really cool green and blue glitter. This is an image from the book original story, and then a vintage sheet with daisies on it. And this is one of my created flashcards. Another paper cluster. Here's a little 3D butterfly sticker that's holographic. Another small image of Alice. And here's another corner pocket. And then this is a flashcard that I embellished with Alice crying. And here's the Cheshire again in a While You Were Out, which I thought was kind of funny. I saw someone else do this in an Alice journal, but she was technically out. You know, she fell asleep and dreamed, but I thought that was a funny addition. This is some vintage yarn trim and a little butterfly on top that I ordered from Jen. I think it's Jen Shares or Jen Makes on Etsy. I recently ordered from her. You might have seen that order of her felt buttons. And this is some beautiful purple lace, vintage. This is a little bottle that I had in my die cuts, and I created it into the Drink Me bottle and tied a little twine and put a little label. And then here we just have a little journaling card, Grow Where You're Planted. Here's the tea party scene. Oh, here's another image of her with a little key. The Jabberwock. And then here's another quote from the book about the bread and butterfly. Well, obviously I didn't have bread and butterfly images, but I had this 1970s butterfly trim that I put here. Little teapot. Fabric squares in the coordinating colors on this Kool-Aid dyed paper. Here is an image of the Queen and the little king. And then here, paper clipped on this side on top of the story is, this is a digital that I found, and it's a little, it's like a card where you would tell someone where you're going to meet them, and you draw the hands of the clock on it. I thought that was so cute. And then this is a stamped image that I put on a flashcard. And here's Alice with Dinah. Really pretty back of that paper. I think there are 18 folded pages in each signature. So that's 36 back and fronts times 2. Here's a little sticker of a teacup. I folded the other end of the song sheet to make a pocket. And then in here we have another original book image and a little thing that says, "Oh, how lovely," for journaling. And these are the things that come with clothing with the extra buttons. And then here I put just a little square of cardstock for journaling. But if you know the story of Alice in Wonderland really well, you'll know why I put him on the button envelope. Okay. On this page, I have some little lanterns like they had at the tea party, and I sewed them together and then glued the string down with some little dots. And then there's one more on the bottom here. This is a belly band made with playing cards and a tag. I think this is one of the last sentences in the book when she's ready to go back home. And then here's some roses, and then here's an image of her falling into the rabbit hole. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the flip through. I hope the recipient loves the journal. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.